So I spent all of 2024 chasing my dreams as a one-woman business owner, and here's what I learned. Here are 5 lessons that totally shifted how I see life. For a little background, at the end of 2022, I quit my dream job at the time, making illusions for magicians and weird things for the entertainment industry. Finally left my job. I'm really doing this. And went to school with my dad to learn how to fix RVs. Since then, I have been running a one-woman RV repair business. And now I not only take calls helping people fix RVs, but I also have an online part of my business where I teach people who are not in Las Vegas and can't have me help them in person fix their RV by themselves. 2023 was my first year in business, so I was just laying down the tracks in front of the train as fast as I could. And 2024 was my first year where I was getting to repeat things. So I already had a sense of what the year would look like, when were the busy times, when were the slow times. And it felt like I was getting my true second data point. Like I could finally, from point A to point B, draw a line and see what this business was going to look like. So what did I learn in 2024? Well, first of all, that my house is in a fly zone and I deal with airplane noises all the time. This is not optimal for filming, but we persevere. Actual first lesson. Just because your life doesn't look like anybody else's does not mean that you're failing. In fact, it might mean that you're killing it. In the beginning of 2024, I really struggled at times because my life did not look like anybody else that I knew, especially not like the successful people in my life. I did not wake up and drive to a corporate job and work this 9 to 5. I work weekends sometimes. I work in the evenings when I feel like it. In the same breath, I've also taken almost an entire week off in December because a book came out that I really loved, and I just wanted to be able to enjoy a book. And at times, I gave myself a lot of grief for that. I wasn't working hard enough, or that this wasn't what a successful person looked like. And it wasn't until about halfway through the year that I was able to make that mental switch of like, no, this is exactly what a successful person's life looks like. This is why I went into business. I wanted to have more control over my time. I wanted to be able to do the things that I wanted to do when I wanted to do them. And now that I can do those things, why on earth would I be sitting here beating myself up for creating the life that I really wanted? And by the back half of the year, I started really celebrating this, and I would make a point of every single week doing at least one thing that I could not possibly do or would be incredibly difficult to do if I worked a traditional 9 to 5. Sometimes it's just stopping all work in the middle of the day to read a book that I really love. Other times it's making that dentist appointment that I would have put off for the weekend in the middle of the week, so that way I can enjoy my weekend and my time with my boyfriend uninterrupted. And in 2025, I want this to kind of bleed over into this YouTube channel a little bit more. I think I'm going to talk on here about books I think that I love and places I've been that I've enjoyed. I've decided to sort of throw the rule book out the window. This YouTube channel is about my business and my life and RVing, and I want to talk a little bit more about the first 2 things and maybe not have every video have to be about here's how to check your fuse in your fridge. Like, sometimes we just get to be a bit more chill, like this. Lesson number 2, though, once you've thrown that rule book out the window, maybe create your own rule book. After I fully accepted this great idea of being my own woman and doing what I wanted each day, I then went through a period where I felt really lost of like, oh my God, I could do anything, and actually found that really paralyzing, and had a good 3 weeks towards the middle back half of 2024 where I just did almost nothing because each day I was just like
too anxious at the idea that the world was my oyster and the possibilities seemed too infinite.
And so I just sat down and decided to write out a routine for myself for days where I wasn't taking calls. So that way, if I woke up and didn't have anything that I absolutely had to do that day, like drive out and see a customer, I still had some sort of routine and a sense of what my day would look like without me having to think about it. And in that, I still gave myself wiggle room to have moments of spontaneity free and do the things that I love. But right now, my life, when I don't have calls, looks like waking up, getting out of bed as soon as possible. It's just way too easy to end up in bed, scrolling through Instagram, and all of a sudden an hour has gone by and you're like, I've achieved nothing in life and I feel like a slug. So first thing I do, get out of bed, go for a walk. There's been a ton of studies about how people don't spend enough time outside and how spending time outside and your eyes being able to actually see sunlight is incredibly good for not only your circadian rhythm, but like all of the cells in your body just like knowing what time of day it is. And it helps tell your body to do the correct systems at the correct time and overall your health. Really love seeing the sun. So I try to get out, go for a walk, see the sun first thing in the morning. I then come back, eat a meal with at least 30 grams of protein, really jumpstart my day. And then I sit down and do uninterrupted work, usually until about 1 p.m. Turn the phone on Do Not Disturb, put on the noise canceling headphones, and just crank out. This is usually where I write up blog posts, YouTube scripts. If it's a filming day, I come to the RV and I film the B-roll and things that I need, or the talking headshots in my office for different Instagram reels and YouTube videos. I give myself that uninterrupted block of time to do the work that needs to be done to keep this business moving forward. And then from 1 to 2, I give myself 1 hour to do whatever the heck I want, whether it's be a total slug and just scroll through YouTube and watch silly YouTube videos about chess or new books that are coming out, or sit and read a book, or go to a museum in town, or just go for a walk. Something that I could never do in the middle of the day if I worked a 9 to 5 and had a boss sitting over my shoulder asking me what I was doing with my time all the time. I feel zero guilt. At times, I tried to get bogged down in the guilt of I wasn't working a traditional 40 hours. And honestly, I get more done in that truncated morning time than I used to do when I really tried to work 40 hours each week and really make that the rule for my life. Because I know I have a truncated amount of time and this is when I need to get it done, I just sit down, focus, and get crap done. Throw the rule book out the window, create your own rules, and do what works for you. If your life doesn't look like anyone else's, that's probably a good sign that you are creating a life that really works for you. Doesn't have to work for anybody else, just has to work for you. I can't tell you what a weight off my shoulders this has been. Lesson number 3, eat 30 grams of carbs before you work out and 30 grams of protein after. Wow! Did this absolutely change my life? I don't know why this took me 10 years of being a gym rat to figure out, but wow, your body needs carbs in order to perform. And then having protein after helps make sure you don't crash after you work out and actually allows you to build the muscle that you're trying to break down in the gym. Yeah, I'm sure this is really obvious to some people, but apparently it took 10 years to get through my thick skull. Truly changed my life. Whew. Lesson number 4, protect your peace. About halfway through this year, I went back and watched the lessons I learned from 2023 video. And I was really struck by the fact that half of the lessons that I was learning was how to manage anxiety. Anxiety, panic attack, anxiety spiral. And just looking at that woman, wow, was she so incredibly anxious all of the time. And I don't blame her. She was starting a business for the first time and, trying to figure out a whole lot of stuff, but just damn, wow. Around the same time that I rewatched that video, I had a just really crummy customer. Maybe I'll talk more about this farther down the road when I'm a little farther away from it. I also never want to come across I'm making fun of a customer. I don't want people to be nervous to call me. But yeah, this person was just beyond inappropriate, no questions asked. They should not have spoken to me that way. And I fired them. This was only the second time I can think of where I have fired a customer. And I used to be really nervous to do that. And this time it just felt so good. Just be nope, I don't need your business. I don't need to deal with this. Thank you so much for your time. Have a nice day. And with that feeling, I then just had the knowledge in my bones that I did not want to be beholden to customers on the phone. What I mean by this is I never wanted to feel like I needed a customer in order to pay rent. And I literally fired that customer. And then the next day, shot off an email to my email list being like, hey, something big is coming at the end of the month. At the time, I had no idea what that was going to be. I just knew that I wanted to create a second income stream that wasn't picking up the phone and taking calls, just so I could feel comfortable saying no to people in person. Like, I never wanted to feel up against a corner that I had to take a call that I didn't want to take. And in order to make that wiggle room, I needed to have some sort of other income stream. And that's when I created RV Academy. That's my online course that walks you through how to diagnose all the appliances in your RV like a tech. I go through the air conditioners, the furnace, the fridge, and your water heater, and just walk you through step by step how I would test your appliances if you called me with a problem. I guess link in the description if that's something you're interested in. But what this really allowed for me was to get in a second income stream, not take calls when I didn't want to, and just be able to go. And since starting up RV Academy, I have never felt just like more calm or at ease going through life. So while I'm so glad that 2023 Emily went through all of that anxiety and all of that discomfort and personal growth, this year, at least in the back half, was really about finding the happy medium of like, let's keep growing, let's keep pushing, let's gain some new skills, but we do not need to be feeling anxious every single day about how our life is going. Going back and watching that video just like changed how I went through the rest of my year. I highly recommend, if you have a YouTube channel, go back and watch some of your older videos, because even from just like 2 years ago, I'm just like, who is that woman? And can I help her? Dear God. And then lesson number 5, don't avoid doing things by just learning about them more. If you want a little peek behind the curtain of RV Academy, for instance, I had listened to podcasts and watched videos about and read books about how to create your own online course or how to teach online for years and years and years and years and years. I had started listening to podcasts about this before I ever had thought about fixing RVs, starting my own business, anything like that. I don't know why, but I just was like, yeah, I could teach people online. I feel like that's something I could do. I grew up with a family of educators. I had grown up out of school. I was like, I think I can explain things really well. And I just kept being like, oh, I'll figure out how to do that someday, or oh, I don't know how to do all of the technical stuff yet, or oh, I don't know what I would teach about, or something like that. And even when I started RV Repair Woman and was fixing RVs, I knew in my bones of like, oh yeah, I could teach people how to do this. Like I could teach RV owners how to be able to fix their own stuff. And like, maybe I'll create my own course someday. And it wasn't until I sent out that email to my email list being like, hey, something's coming at the end of the month, that I was like, oh, I need to stop putting this off and I just need to do it. Like I gave myself no other option. I need to figure out how to get this done in 30 days. And I learned more in the 30 days of just figuring it the fuck out than I did in the years and years and years and years of listening to podcasts, watching videos, and reading books about how to start your own online course. Watching one more YouTube video gives you the dopamine rush of learning and makes you feel like you're doing something. But surprise, watching one more YouTube video that tells you the same 5 tips that you already know makes you feel good because you're like, I know this. I'm so smart. It doesn't actually accomplish anything. It doesn't get anything done. And honestly, in the end, what I needed to know was not information that I was going to get from a YouTube video or a podcast. It was like, what buttons do I need to press in Kajabi to make this email sequence work? And I didn't know that I need to know that set of buttons until I got there and just did the damn thing. So now I just constantly ask myself, do I really need to learn more information, or do I just need to do the damn thing? And when it came to starting the online course, I just needed to do the damn thing, which is a lesson that I am going back to over and over and over again this year in 2025, because I have so many things that I want to do. And I even now just feel the urge to be like, oh, I'll go do some more research about that. Don't do the research, Emily. You know the thing. Just go do the thing. I think I come from a family that loves to research things and just loves to know everything there is to know about something out there. You know, sometimes you got to fight those instincts and you just need to go be a doer. Sometimes you just need to channel your inner Shia LaBeouf and just do it. Can I really express how much I hate the number of helicopters and planes that fly over? Yeah. Can you guys hear that? But that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Those are the top 5 lessons that I learned in 2024 as a solopreneur out here trying to fix RVs, teach people how to fix their RVs. I cannot wait to see what 2025 has in store. I have some cool travel plans scheduled already, so already working around those. Let me know down in the comments, what did you learn in 2024 that just like really shifted how you saw life, and what are you excited about in 2025? Let me know. You got this.